Over the years, I've been talking to so many athletes, and it's interesting the attraction that athletes have wanting to try to be movie stars, and maybe some movie stars wanting to be athletes, if you will. Boxing, I understand, is a pretty big passion of yours. You would be considered the Muhammad Ali, given your regal stature in the business as the most commercially successful African-American actor. Who would you want to play you as a boxer?
As a boxer?
Yeah, which boxer would you want to play you that you have an immense amount of respect for?
If they were playing, if a boxer was playing me
you, exactly.
in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, I don't know. Who could play me? I don't know. You go first. Let me think about that.
I don't get the boxer analogy.
Basketball, right? Then which?
I'm like a J.J. Barea type of dude.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
really?
You know,
okay. Go ahead.
Well, I like the guy. You know, the guy.
You make me think of Daryl Dawkins, though.
Daryl.
You'll have a similar walk.
Shot the Thunder in my day.
Yeah, I remember I seen you tear the rim down once, similar to Daryl.
Ben, you have a game?
I don't have a lot of vertical leap, as you might guess.
No, we shouldn't assume
but no,
that,
I mean, I love watching I would say, I'm saying I'm like JJ Barea, but I love watching a player like that, a guy who's sort of like figuring out ways to make things happen, and having to figure out how to exist in this world that, you know, sort of, he's just an unlikely guy to do well in that world. But I love guys like that also who know how to pass, and I think when you're working with other good actors, you want to take the sports analogy, and you know when it's a moment for it to be the other actor's scene or their moment, or allow something to happen between them. That's always good, I think. You know,
I would really love to be able to say Floyd Mayweather, because he's my favorite boxer, could play me. But I'm thinking about casting, and I realize that I'm closer to Roger Mayweather. Yes, we're closer than age, and
right.
He could play me better.
Eddie, will Pacquiao Mayweather ever happen?
Absolutely, without question. They have to fight because they're the two best on the planet, and it's just too much money involved, and they have to. And how could they deny the boxing public, you know, that fight? You have to have that fight.
And that's what everybody's been saying, Eddie. But it seems like your boy might be backing away from this.
Who's my boy? What, Mayweather?
Yeah.
Mayweather. You see what Mayweather just did? He ain't backing away from nothing. Mayweather is not backing away from nothing. They're just waiting for everything to be right. It's gonna be some fireworks. I know that fight. That fight has to happen. Yeah. That fight has to happen.
You like to see that too?
Yeah, definitely.
That fight has to happen. The two best in the world have to throw down and go make all that money. I'll be right there watching.
Hey, you know what? Coming from a sports angle, I was thinking about teams that bring together many stars, like the Miami Heat with LeBron, Chris Bosh, Wade. Any difficulties associated with bringing this many stars?
I'm a Knicks fan. I'm sorry.
Ben, as I was saying, starting with the New York Knicks.
Never
still.
All right.
What difficulty of bringing stars together? Any difficulties at all bringing these kind of personalities together, these kind of stars in a movie?
I don't think so. I mean, I was really excited to work with Eddie, and not just Eddie.
And vice versa. I was excited to work with him. And it's maybe harder to bring stars together. This is actors, a bunch of good actors in this movie. It's not like a bunch of movie stars, it's a bunch of really solid actors, like a really solid actor ensemble piece.
I think that Brett, the director, really wanted that. He really wanted it to be a very New York movie. We're both from New York, Matthew Broderick and Alan Alda and Taya Leone, and just this group is very much, it's about a bunch of New Yorkers, and that vibe for the movie was important to him. So to get the right actors, and then we were all excited. It was a great group of people. It's such a good thing that happens.
And working with someone like Eddie, I would assume the ad-libbing, which clearly he's very gifted with, was there a fair amount of that involved at all too?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, always. And that's fun stuff. And I'm not the only one that does it, and the other people in the cast did it as well. I'm not the only one that was improvising. I tell you, when you have really strong actors and you got a strong, script, you can get all that stuff in there easy. You get all the stuff you need to say, and then the actors take chances and try to do different things because we're having fun, working with each other.
Difficult to keep a straight face when something is delivered that maybe...
For me, sometimes, yeah. I mean, especially the first couple scenes with Eddie, because he came on so strong and was so funny, and I have been a fan for a long time, so it was fun watching him. It's almost like it's as much keeping a straight face as also just staying in the scene, because there's part of you that's watching going, oh, this is great. This is going to be in the movie for sure. Yeah, and then you want to laugh. I think I found like in movies when you're at that point where you're almost cracking up, sometimes that energy, but you can keep it together, is always a good place to be, because you feel like there's something real happening and something's funny. At least it's funny in the moment. You don't always know how it's going to translate, but if it feels funny in the moment and you're able to keep it together and you can keep that energy, there are a lot of scenes in movies I think where you see people do something really funny and the other actors not laughing, and they cut right before the moment where they cracked up.
Last question then. One of the things I most admire about athletes are those who are not only excellent on the playing field, but give of themselves off. Certainly you two have been pretty significant in that arena. I know philanthropically, one of the things I reacted to that I read about you is your heart for what's going on in Haiti. What really got you about that you wanted to be involved?
I just went down and visited and saw how bad the situation was there, and seeing how close it is to the U.S. and people living in this extreme state of poverty. We all know we have poverty problems here in our own country, but to see that level of poverty so close to our country, to me, felt that hit home. And then that was before the earthquake, and then when the earthquake happened, it just added to their troubles. So that was why I wanted to get connected somehow and try to do something.